Me now. Hey, what's up, guys? Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and today is Tuesday, March 14, and these are the breaks.
These
are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and we are going to have a great Tuesday. It's just not Taco Tuesday. It's going to be a Tuesday to remember. Why? Because there are certain players, especially multiple players coming out of Los Angeles, who either want out, want to play more, or just don't care and they just want to go to Miami and go play for the Dolphins. And that's, the one and only Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey a few weeks ago tweeted and said, hey, you know what? I kind of don't want to be here no more. That's kind of I'm just kind of giving you a transcript of his tweet. That's exactly what he meant by that tweet. 2 weeks later, the Los Angeles Rams ship Jalen Ramsey out of Los Angeles to the Miami Dolphins to go team up with Tua Tagovailoa and Weddle, and as well as Tyreek Hill. So now you look at the Miami Dolphins, who are making some noise, making some huge noise out in the AFC. But is maybe Jalen Ramsey enough to kind of put the Miami Dolphins up in contention against them? Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals, who are just a great team. And, let's not forget about New York. Why do I say let's not forget about New York? You're like, Fredo, there's nobody in New York. Who the hell are we have to worry about? You got to worry about Mr. Doublecheck, Mr. State Farm, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, who is just very, very close, according to ESPN. Aaron Rodgers is close into agreeing to a trade to go down to the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers as a Jet? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of cool. I've never thought I'd see Aaron Rodgers in a different uniform. Aaron Rodgers seems to be one of those guys that just wants to play for that same old team, doesn't really want to go out, even though he likes to be out in the spotlight, but he doesn't really want to be out and be that man. But when you look at those comments he made after the season ended this past year, I wish I was the owner of the Green Bay Packers. That moment Aaron Rodgers talked to the press after the game, I would have shifted him out. Out. I mean, you had a awful performance in Detroit. You win, you go to the playoffs. You lose, you go home. Last game of the season, Monday Night Football. Not Monday Night Fredo. Monday Night Football. And you lose that game up in Detroit. And you don't make the playoffs. And then you make those comments, those rude comments. Just saying technically, hey, I know I'm not going to be here, but get what you can out of me right now. I don't want to be here. Those are his words. And now he's moments away from becoming a New York Jet. What does that mean for the QBs in the AFC? I mean, I was talking last week about the QBs in the AFC. Certain QBs leaving the AFC, going to the NFC, like Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, who Jameis Winston just re-signed with the Saints, which is kind of made me think a little bit like, wait, you just signed Derek Carr to a major contract last week. Now you signed another QB who was complaining last year about playing time, and now you sign him to your team. So now I'm wondering what the New Orleans Saints are doing over there. They got two quarterbacks. I don't know who's going to play the most, but one gets mad when the other one doesn't play, and the other one, when he plays, he just plays awful. So let's see how that runs out in New Orleans for those two quarterbacks. But another quarterback that replaced Derek Carr was Jimmy G, former 49er and New England Patriot, just signed a 3-year deal worth $65 million up in Las Vegas. Man, oh man, is that man now ready to go out to Vegas and celebrate possibly not making the playoffs? Because Jimmy G is a good quarterback. And I don't want to take that away from him. He's a good quarterback. He's maybe one of the best options that the Raiders had out there. Of course, they seem to be a little upset in not getting Aaron Rodgers, which, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers maybe doesn't want to team up with Davante Adams again. I don't know if that's the case, or I don't know if Vegas is going to distract Aaron Rodgers. But Jimmy G, this guy, he dates porn stars for a living. That's what he does. Vegas for him is going to be nothing new. Coming from San Francisco to Las Vegas is not that far. But what can he do? What can he do to elevate this team to the next level? Because it seems like over the last 10 years, 9 years with Derek Carr, and in this upcoming year with Jimmy G, it's going to be like they've been trying to get over the hump. They've been trying to find a quarterback that can do certain things that maybe Derek Carr was not able to do for the last 9 years. Jimmy G can throw the ball. Jimmy G can control an offense. He can lead the huddle. He's a captain. He's a team player. But can he really put it together with Josh McDaniels, head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? Maybe so. Why do I say that? Because Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots when Jimmy G was with the New England Patriots. So there's a connection there already. There's some sort of really close relationship between both of them, where Josh McDaniels has always highly talked about Jimmy Garoppolo when given the opportunity. So now when Jimmy G being down here in Las Vegas, that gives them Hunter Renfrow. That gives you Davante Adams, one of the best wide receivers in the league right now. You got Max Crosby on the defensive end. You got your center. You got Josh Jacobs. You got some guys that there's no reason why the Raiders might not make the playoffs this season. I give them 8 to 10 wins. Somewhere between that slot right there. 8 to 10 wins. They got 7 wins this past season. 10 the previous season before. So what big difference can Jimmy G do for them? And that's a major question that I want to ask Raider fans and Raider Nation. Like, what do you see out of Jimmy G? What do you see that Jimmy G can do for your team that's going to put you guys above everybody else? Not just above everybody else. Let's worry about the division itself first. You got the Chiefs, defending champions. You got the Broncos, who just got Sean Payton and a retooled Russell Wilson. And you got the Chargers and Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert and a new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. That's going to be an interesting move on why the Raiders decided to get Jimmy G. Someone that cannot run out of the pocket. Someone that cannot stay healthy, stay on the field. But he can throw the freaking ball. I think that's the only reason why they got Jimmy G, because he can throw the ball. Derek Carr was not really able to throw the ball. He was maybe able to throw the ball to the defensive player, which he kind of let the Raiders hit interceptions over the last few seasons in the AFC. So we know that Derek Carr can get the ball to the defensive player, but Jimmy G can get the ball to his own team players, and that's Davante Adams. He now got a weapon in Davante Adams who makes some noise. He had Deebo Samuel up in San Francisco. He had Christian McCaffrey for a few games before he got hurt, but I think Jimmy G sounds like the missing piece, but I certainly don't believe so. I certainly don't believe so. But another guy that got traded over the weekend, Sunday morning, everyone wakes up here in Los Angeles to breaking news. Jalen Ramsey, cornerback from the Los Angeles Rams, got traded to the Miami Dolphins. So Jalen Ramsey going over there to the Miami Dolphins, and you look at the other moves in Sam Darnold, another quarterback, former USC standout. This guy was a Heisman Trophy winner for USC just a few years ago. Came into the league and just didn't seem like he fit in the NFL. A lot of people gave him some crap. 3 years in New York, kicked him out. Sent him 2 years in Carolina, kicked him out. Now he was a free agent last season without a job job. Now this season, the 49ers decide to kick the tire on the one and only Sam Darnold, former USC quarterback. So the Niners replaced Jimmy with Darnold, even though Trey Lance is still hurt. We don't know what's going to happen with them. And we also got their other quarterback who got hurt during the playoffs. We don't know what's going to happen with him. But it seems like Sam Darnold's taking over in San Francisco. Jimmy G taking over in Raiders. We got Derek Carr taking over in New Orleans, and Jameis Winston, who's also over there, and Aaron Rodgers up in New York. So there's a lot of quarterback movement throughout the AFC. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. But another thing that was interesting to see earlier today was Austin Eckler, running back for the Los Angeles Chargers, who has led the league in the last 2 seasons in touchdowns scored, has requested a trade. Yes, he is seeking permission from the organization to get a trade elsewhere after the Chargers decided not to pay the man over the offseason right now. Austin Eckler is scheduled to get $6.25 million this upcoming year, which is his last year of his 4-year contract he signed in 2018 after being undrafted by the LA Chargers. So it seems like what I'm guessing, I talked to some people and they mentioned, they believe Austin Eckler is unhappy with the way the Chargers are looking into doing their playmaking this upcoming season, especially after getting Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator from the Dallas Cowboys. We knew that Joe Lombardi, the former offensive coordinator over the last 2 seasons for the Chargers, was the key reason why Austin Eckler led the league in the last 2 seasons in touchdowns. Joe Lombardi liked to run the ball. Joe Lombardi liked to put Austin Eckler coming out of the side, going out for a little curl or whatnot. That's the reason why Eckler was Austin Eckler over the last 2 seasons. That's the reason why he was the number 1 running back and player in fantasy last season. This season, he got Kellen Moore, an offensive coordinator who does not like to run the ball. Kellen Moore proved that in Dallas. He does not like to run the ball. That's the reason why they lost the game in the playoffs, because they didn't want to run the ball. They wanted to depend on Dak Prescott to throw the ball. Dak Prescott is not that guy to throw the ball. Justin Herbert could throw the ball. That's the reason why Kellen Moore is now the offensive coordinator for the LA Chargers. But like they mentioned to me today, that's maybe a reason why Austin Eckler wants out, because they know that the offense is not going to be around him. It's going to be around Herbert, Allen, Williams, Everett, all those other guys. But when I return here on Monday Night Fredo, not Monday Night Fredo, sorry guys, it's too many of them today. But the breaks. I'm going to talk to you guys about Anthony Davis and the Lakers. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Team USA in the World Classic Baseball, which they beat down on the Canada and the Canadians last night up in Arizona. When I return here on the breaks.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Yes, we are back here on The Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, on this great Tuesday, March the 14th. And man, time is flying so quick because I just remember it was New Year's. And now we're 2 months into the new year here in 2023. Of course, Super Bowl ended about a month ago. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. But there was one team that maybe had some hope and maybe gaining the superstar. You know, and that team itself, believe it or not, that was the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals believed they had a chance at signing Keenan Allen, signing certain free agents like Lamar Jackson, because they are not happy down there with the one that's maybe he's 5'8". If he's 5'8", me and this guy, Kyler Murray, are the same height. He can barely see over his offensive lineman. And for someone like that, and you know, the Arizona Cardinals for some reason seem to be a mess over the last 6 seasons. Just been the mess ever since Larry Fitzgerald left the team. They just not been able to get it all together. Even J.J. Watt has now retired, not been able to stay healthy, getting hurt out there, and just knowing that there is no hope to even win a championship in Arizona. But Arizona had high hopes in maybe getting a Keenan Allen, because Keenan Allen had his contract restructure before he was released, because a lot of teams out there was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Arizona Cardinals who were the front runners to sign Keenan Allen upon being released from the LA Chargers. But the LA Chargers and GM Tom Telesco said, hell no, that's not going to happen. We are not going to let Keenan Allen walk away for nothing. What they do, they restructure his contract, not just his, Joey Bosa's contract, and not just Joey Bosa's either. They also got Mike Williams, even though he just signed a 5-year deal last season. They restructure his deal to make more cap room. And they also restructure Khalil Mack, because Khalil Mack and Keenan Allen for the LA Chargers were 2 guys that were scheduled to be released any minute. But GM Tom Telesco was able to talk with the team, get the team together, and try to keep them in Los Angeles as much as it can, because they have something that they've been building over the last 2 seasons, something very special. And it just seems like coming into the 3rd year with head coach Brandon Staley, it seems like this year is kind of coming together. Last year, it was like a big old turnaround. It was a major turnaround. You're signing all these Pro Bowlers. You're signing all these great players to your team. And it's like, the Chargers never done that. It's like the Clippers. Like, prior to the Clippers getting Chris Paul, they never really got anybody. They didn't have no big names here in Los Angeles with the Clippers. But once they got a new ownership, once they got Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, all of a sudden, all these players want to come and play for the Clippers. Paul George over there saying, I've been a Clipper fan all my life. I mean, there's video clips of you saying you've been a Laker fan all your life. And then now because you play for the Clippers and the Lakers didn't want to trade for you, you're a little pissed off. It's not our fault, but that was funny about Mr. Paul George and stuff. But Keenan Allen is stood in Los Angeles. These players are not going anywhere. Another player who just signed with the Chargers, Easton Stick, quarterback, is sticking with the Chargers here for another year worth only a little bit above $2.5 million. So the Chargers are spending some money. They're spending it very well and very smart. They just signed Eric Kendricks, former UCLA linebacker and former Viking linebacker, to a 2-year contract. They said it's a lot of money. The numbers have not come out yet, but they did say it is huge money for Eric Kendricks. That is another weapon they are getting right now. So a combine of almost 15, 17 Pro Bowl appearances on the defensive end for the Chargers, which is going to be remarkable for them, because I am excited to see what they are going to do this upcoming season. So This is ridiculous. Just by me looking down at my paperwork here and looking at the name Anthony Davis, what rings in your head when you hear the name Anthony Davis? I'm going to say it again. Anthony Davis. What comes to your mind when you hear Anthony Davis? I hear softy. I hear unreliable, inconsistent, always hurt, street clothes. I mean, there's so many nicknames we can call out on Anthony Davis. There's one nickname that head coach Darvin Ham gave him. Wilt Davis. Wilt Davis. Are we talking about the Wilt that scored 100 points? Are we talking about the Wilts that led the league in rebounding and scoring? Are we talking about that man who is an NBA champion as well? I don't see why. I mean, I guess you can see that Anthony Davis or Wilt Davis gives you some very good performances at times. But what in the world happened on Sunday night? You're at your home, Crypto.com Arena. You're playing the New York Knicks, who just lost on Saturday afternoon against the Clippers. On the other hand, the Clippers have been very good, winning 4 out of the last 5 games so far. Very good with Russell Westbrook. But what is it going to take for Anthony Davis to take on that leap and be the player, be the leader that you are? Because what did LeBron James say at the beginning of the season? What did LeBron James, the greatest of all time, say at the beginning of the season? Hey, look, this year, I want AD to drive the bus. I'll take a step back. I want AD to be the man. What the hell is AD doing to be the man? What is he doing? Scoring 16 points? 16, I mean, it frustrates me when I see great talent on the floor not being used well enough. And a lot of that lands on Darvin Ham. Anthony Davis scored 2 points in the fourth quarter last night. It's ridiculous at times in how his performance is not what we signed. Like, we signed a player and we traded a lot of great talent for you. Yeah, we got a championship, and we keep going back to that. Oh, well, they won a championship in 2020. I mean, who cares? Toronto won a championship in 2019. Who talks about them now? Who talks about Kawhi? Who talks about Van Vliet, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, and those guys? Marc Gasol. Nobody. When I come back right now, I'm going to talk about the guy who is actually the leader of this team. It's not LeBron James. It's not Anthony Davis. When I return, I'll let you guys know who it is. This is The Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Yes, we are back here on The Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, on this beautiful Tuesday. And don't forget, guys, if you guys are watching right now, it's early afternoon. This is a nice Tuesday. It's pretty sunny out there. We're finally not having any rain. But go grab some tacos, man. It's Taco Tuesday. And that's one thing that LeBron James always says. Hey, man, it's Taco Tuesday. Go get some tacos. And I hope the Lakers do something about Anthony Davis. I'm just tired of talking about how disappointing he is. But there's another man who just came back to town after we shifted him out to the Brooklyn Nets, which is D'Angelo Russell. He's in his 9th year in the NBA after being drafted 2nd overall in 2015 from Ohio State, from the Los Angeles Lakers. And now it seems to be that he, in my opinion, is arguably maybe the best player on the team. I might be crazy saying that, but I'm talking about a man who's averaged 33 points in the last 3 games ever since returning from injury, and prior to his injury, he was passing the ball, averaging 8 assists as well. When you can get someone that can average you 38 and 5, D'Angelo Russell, last night, believe it or not, he shot 13 of 19 from the field. He was great. 6 of 11 from 3-point land. It's about 50%. So D'Angelo Russell, I honestly feel like he is the man that the Lakers got to build with. That is maybe the future that the Lakers can really build off of. Because you look at Dennis Schroeder, you look at Austin Reeves. You put that combination of D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves as your backcourt. That is a hella good backcourt right there. Because Austin Reeves deserves a contract very soon. Because let's not do what the Lakers did to Alex Caruso, especially because both players really are compared a lot. And I compared both of them last week as well on the breaks and on Monday Night Fredo about how good and how different they are from each other. But at the end of the day, Austin Reeves is a talent, an undrafted talent, who is sooner than later going to be seeking a contract, something that, Austin Eckler is doing. But Anthony Davis shooting 8 of 18 from the field last night, only attempting 1 3, not making it, only get 17 points. 17 points? Really, Anthony Davis? Really? That's what I'm going to get from you on a Sunday night primetime on ESPN against the New York Knicks. The Knicks who's been hot. They lost the night before in the same arena, and you're going to come out and only give us 17 points? 3 points in the fourth quarter? What is that? What is that? But at the end of the day, I said this on the Profanity Nation podcast. You can catch me there last Sunday. I said this on Sunday night. I said that the Lakers got to trade Anthony Davis. They got to ship him out. They got to get something in return from him. Look at what the Brooklyn Nets did with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. They got good talent back. They're actually winning games right now. They're beating good, solid teams. They're beating good teams out there. They got Spencer Dinwiddie, Seth Curry, Ben Simmons when healthy and not crying. They got a lot of good talent down there that is something that the Lakers can do. You get Anthony Davis, maybe ship him to Chicago, send him home. Get DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, maybe Alonzo Ball they might want to throw in the deal. But there's something you can get somewhere else. Because imagine this. You get D'Angelo Russell and you pair him up with DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James. You got something to play with right there. You definitely got something to play with, at least for one more year with LeBron James, because we know LeBron's going to be 40 next season. So it's going to be pretty scary to see what the Lakers might do with that. But I do want to end the show with this. Number 16. Number 16 of the Los Angeles Lakers, Pau Gasol, got his jersey retired last Tuesday at the Crypto.com arena, which now when you visit the Crypto.com arena, any event it is that you visit besides a Clipper event, you get a chance to see the jerseys up there, even if it's a concert, hockey game. So now you get a chance to look up to the rafters and see number 16 hanging right beside Kobe Bryant's jerseys. And just, congratulations, pal, for the run you had here. You gave us a good 6-7 years. I feel bad for the way you were treated the last 2 years of your time with the Lakers, because it was awful, always being in trade talks, always getting disrespected. Mike D'Antoni really sitting you on the bench. That was awful to see, because your time was still not over yet. I still felt you had plenty left in the tank before the Lakers let you go and walk away to Chicago. But pal, you did a lot for the city. If it wasn't for you, this man right here, Kobe mentioned, he's like, if it wasn't for Pal, I would not have had those 2 championships in LA in 2009 and 2010. And I recall, I remember your first game as a Laker. I can sit back and relax and think that, it's crazy to think that that's 15 years ago. I was a junior in high school. And I remember getting home, turn on the TV to watch the Laker game. They were on KCAL 9. And first thing I see, and I believe it was John Ireland and Jim Hill. And John Ireland's on the floor, and he's talking about Pau Gasol being traded when they got him, played his first game up in New Jersey. At the time, it was the New Jersey Nets. And I remember the Lakers went into New Jersey with Pau Gasol's first game, and they took him down to the wire, and the Lakers won the game by like 3-4 points at the end. Great pick and roll from Kobe and Pau. After that first game, we knew that we had something special. So again, congratulations to Pau Gasol in his number 16, being up in the rafters again. Yeah, man, it's crazy to see how fast time flies. But if you really want to see time fly by so quick, just forward to next Monday, because you can catch me here on the Infinity Studio next Monday on Monday Night Fredo, and of course every Tuesday here on the breaks, 12 o'clock. That's it for me today. I'm done. Jimmy G's a Raider. Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. Eric Hendricks is a Charger. What's next? I don't know. Free agency starts tomorrow, guys. Be ready for that.